Welcome to Southwest Hot Chefs and Restaurants. I'm your host, Ginger T. Rex. Today, my co-host Richard Holcomb is going to be visiting the nice people at Cervantes restaurant. He's going to be with Roberta and Iris. And later in the show, I'm going to be cooking with Adrian, who is with Cervantes product line, and I cannot wait to see what she's going to cook up. But first, let's go take a look at the restaurant.
Consistently ranked as one of the top 5 authentic New Mexican restaurants in the state, Cervantes is a must-visit culinary destination. With treasured family recipes and all natural ingredients, you'll love all the wonderful and healthy menu choices. So delicious and so Cervantes. Combine your favorites with Cervantes' exceptional tequilas and margaritas, and voila, culinary perfection.
Cervantes is a great place to come to see your friends, to have wonderful food, and it's a great place for family gatherings.
You'll appreciate the takeout menu at Cervantes for a meal on the go, at home, and parties. Plus, be sure to take home plenty of Cervantes award-winning red and green chili and salsas. For lunch, dinner, drinks, parties, and celebrations, make it the one and only Cervantes. Authentic New Mexico cuisine in Albuquerque at the corner of San Pedro and Gibson. One of my favorite trips every year is coming to Cervantes because Roberta always has an invariable feast for us on the table, and I'm really looking forward to nibbling on some of this while we talk today, Roberta.
Well, fantastic. I hope you enjoy all of it.
Let's talk right off the bat. Let's talk a little bit about what we have here. This is a stuffed sopapilla, meat and bean, very traditional.
Very,
right?
very traditional, with red and green chili.
You've got some chicken enchiladas.
I have chicken enchiladas, and the chicken is made from scratch. We boil them ourselves and shred them up and make our own chicken enchilada mixture.
And you always have, for me, when I come here, my all-time favorite, the carne adobada.
Carne adobada, made from fresh pork and marinated in red chili.
Tradition, culture, cuisine, all comes together here at Cervantes. Give us a little history of the restaurant.
Well, let's see. I probably started about 37 years ago, and the recipes I have, some of them I made up myself, some of them were traditional handed down from my grandmother.
The last time that we were here, we actually talked to a lot of the folks who've been coming here since the day that you opened. So
yes.
You've got a list of regulars that's second to none, don't you?
Yes, I do. Thank God for regulars.
And you have a lot of art in here, too.
Yes, we do. I've collected this over the years. And in fact, the large painting came with the restaurant.
And been here all of that time?
All of that time.
The bar's incredible. It's fun to walk through the door and be able to sample the best selection of margaritas that you'll find anywhere in New Mexico. What do we have today? We've got a traditional margarita?
We have a traditional, and then we have a blue margarita.
Well, while you're having a margarita, you need to remember, lunch and dinner, Cervantes is
yes,
a great
sir.
place to come. And I want to spend a little bit of time, too, talking about the fact that you cater.
Yes, we do.
All kinds of events.
All kinds. Weddings, we've done a few weddings, we've done a couple of graduations. We've also had a few parties here at the restaurant, which are private parties.
And it's not fast food.
Never.
But you can take it out.
Absolutely. We've got our to-go menus, and you can call in your order and we'll have it ready for you.
A wonderful place to come for lunch and dinner. A great place just to come and enjoy the bar. Try one of the many margaritas that they have here. Cervantes doesn't get any better than that. And speaking of the margaritas, we're going to head back to the bar here in just a minute and spend a little time with Iris, who's going to show us how some of these great drinks that you can get here at Cervantes are made.
Well, I have been coming for at least 20 years, certainly more than that. And I love the food. I love cheese enchiladas. It's all very tasty.
Hi, I'm Mike Williams with Builder Source Appliance Gallery, and thanks for watching today's show. Today we'll be featuring our cooking in this luxurious Jenn-Air kitchen. In addition to these fine products, let me show you some more that Jenn-Air has to offer. And Jenn-Air features a full line of refrigerators. But what really stands out is their slide-in range. Jenn-Air does make the finest slide-in range on the market today. Built-in microwave hoods mounted above, an extensive line of designer hoods and cooktops. But what really stands out in Genair is their built-in ovens, with a culinary center that takes the guesswork out of cooking. You'll find an extensive amount of Genair on display at any of our stores in Albuquerque, Santa Fe, Las Cruces, and now in El Paso.
When I come to Cervantes, the first place I head is the bar. It's my favorite place to be in this restaurant, and two of my favorite people are here with me today, Iris and Shirley. And Shirley is going to mix for us a great blue margarita. And while she's doing that, Iris, let you and I chat a little bit about tequila, okay?
Okay.
Because I know one of the things that you use in the margaritas here is Jose Cuervo. And there's a lot of discussion about Jose Cuervo, good, bad, indifferent, whatever the case may be. But you told me that it's really great in a margarita, right?
Yes, it is. It's got a lot of punch in it. When you put it in the margarita, you can taste that alcohol that a lot of people are looking for, because the margarita actually will kind of take any alcohol taste away. So when you can taste the alcohol, you know you got a good margarita. And Jose Cuervo does good.
And Jose Cuervo is a tequila that a lot of people choose to drink straight, but I know that you have other preferences than that. Not that it's bad, it's just different. So tell us a little bit about some of the other the other tequila that you have.
Well, we have a lot of premium tequilas here, as well as, some of the other ones like Jose Cuervo. But we've got the Awesome Bruso, which is very nice tequila. It's a very premium tequila. It's pink in color, and the reason why it's pink in color is because it's aged in Bordeaux barrels. And so it gives it kind of a rosé type of a color. Bottle's beautiful, just a great tequila. A lot of people like the 1942.
One of my favorites.
It's a very nice sipping tequila. This one right here has a lot of vanilla undertones. Your tequila has a lot of cinnamon undertones, but when they kind of sort of have, different flavors in there, it's kind of nice to sip on them versus putting them in a margarita where you're not going to taste them.
And let's talk a little bit about the aging process too for tequila. And you've got some examples here, all with the same face. Very happy, I might add. But tell us a little bit about the aging process.
Well, this one right here is what they call Ca. It's a silver, this particular one. The silvers are not aged. They're just straight out of the barrel, straight out of the distillery, so to speak. This one right here is actually the reposado. And reposado means rested. And so they rest it in 3 months or more. And the añejo is aged. And aged is a year or more.
Well, when you say rested, what does that mean? It means it sits in the barrel?
It sits in the oak barrels. This one sits in, up to your 3-5 months. This one's going to be a year or more.
Well, I have to tell you that I am a guy who likes to drink my tequila straight. But when I come to Cervantes, I absolutely have to have one of Shirley's margaritas. And you made a blue margarita for us, and I want to try it. And while I'm taking a sip, I've always wanted to know about the salt on a margarita. Why do we put salt on a margarita?
I think it enhances your flavor of a margarita. Myself, a lot of people ask for no salt on it. Could be health reasons, I'm not sure, maybe taste. But if you try the two, one with and one without salt, there's a big taste in there.
There is a big difference, and I
It
like
is. Did you see that?
I did. Thank you for that insight. I appreciate that. Well, now it's time to go down to Builder Source Appliance Gallery. And Ginger, Ariane, are you all ready to get cooking for us?
Okay, well, I'm ready. Are you ready, Ariane?
I'm ready.
Great. So right after this break, we're going to get cooking with some delicious Cervantes products.
Southwest Hot Chefs and Restaurants is brought to you in part by Genair, where innovation has finally caught up with your appetite for the extraordinary.
Welcome to Builder Source Appliance Gallery in Albuquerque. Today my guest is Ariane, and she's coming to us from Cervantes Food Products line.
That's right.
And I'm excited to work with you because when you come, it's fresh, it's healthy, and it's spicy and yummy.
And it's fast.
And it's fast,
And it's
yeah.
fast, yeah.
Absolutely. So what have you brought to make for us today?
We're gonna make carnitas with our Cervantes jalapeno salsa. So what we'll do, as you can see, it's a really lean cut of meat. So we're gonna add just a little bit of oil to not completely cover the bottom of the pan, but just enough to provide a little
Because that is lean.
fat.
That is
right,
really lean.
exactly. And what we do is we like to trim things out. Yeah, because healthy eating calls for trimming back on your fats.
Yeah.
It also calls for trimming back on your salts. And but you can still enjoy great, bold flavors.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so this is that. It's
We're
hot
on.
enough, yeah.
We're on.
We're working
We're
in a
on.
Jin Air kitchen at Builder Source Appliance Gallery, and this one is so great. It's a slide-in range, and it's seamless. So you can put this in
love
your
that.
island, yeah, and it great for just everybody gathering around and being able to cook, kind of family style, have everybody around.
Well, the nice
Or
thing
have you
about
cook.
this, there you go.
I like this way better where I'm waiting.
The nice thing is that you notice that the pan was just a little cooler than it needed to be. You don't get that big sizzle in
Yeah.
the meat right away. Just crank it up.
Yep.
And there you are.
Now
we're cooking.
Now we are cooking.
Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to thoroughly brown the meat. We'll add a little seasoning to it while we're here.
Okay, what seasonings are you adding?
Just, some very basic, simple seasonings. Granulated garlic.
Okay.
A little bit of pepper. Now I like the little coarser pepper. You can use a fine grind on the pepper, but just a little bit.
Okay.
Just so that you have enough to season your meat. And Ginger, if you would help me, we need to be warming up some tortillas. But you know what? You haven't had a single sample of our salsa.
Okay, last year that was my favorite part. You bring chips and salsa. You're the only one that does this, and you have it right here on set, and I get to try it. Now, when you poured these, I think this was the green chili.
Green chili.
And this was medium jalapeno. Okay.
Right.
All right.
And the difference really is just the type of peppers that we use. The jalapenos, we use 2 varieties of onions, jalapenos. The green chili salsa, we only use New Mexico grown green chilies. That's true for all our products that use either red chili or green chili. So
I can't decide which one I like better, so I'm just gonna
keep eating.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Try 'em again. You guys.
And what I've used here is as we mentioned, a trimmed out pork roast.
Okay.
Now
pork roast.
Yeah, pork roast. Now that doesn't mean you have to use pork roast. I cut it in small little chunks. You can use a pork loin.
And this recipe can be found on southwest.chefs.com.
Right.
You could try to make it yourself. And on your website, on CervantesSalsa.com, you have a place where there are recipes, that people can use the products that you have from your product line and try them. But you also have a place where people can submit their own recipe.
Right.
I love that. That is
we
really
encourage
cool.
that. We encourage that a lot because, traditionally we use our products for enchiladas, tamales, breakfast burritos, things of that nature. But you'd be surprised at some of the creativity that our customers have with our product line.
Yeah.
And so we've had some submissions that I never in a million years would have thought that somebody would incorporate our product in that particular dish, but it works for them. We love the fact that they bring us new ideas.
Yeah.
So you know what? Let's add some Cervantes jalapeno salsa.
Okay.
We're going to add about a half a jar. So you're pouring your salsa.
It's hot.
It is
It's not that hot.
No, it catches up to
It
you.
doesn't hurt.
No. No, and
That's just right. See, I like that. That's the kind of hot I like. I like
so
hot. That's
what
pretty
happens is that when we when we say hot, we make items that are very easy on the palate. They're delicious. They have bold flavors, but they're not going to be so hot that you can't taste everything that's going on.
Yeah, that's
in
how I
your
like
dish.
it. It's not so hot that all you're thinking about is how hot it is.
Right.
You're thinking, oh, I taste that chili and the fresh tomato and
Right.
the pepper. Like you really get a sense of the flavors. So, yeah.
Are you going to warm some tortillas
Yes.
for us? Oh, awesome. Okay, so this is
You got to stay on me. I'm okay in the kitchen, but
you
I
just
have
like
other
chips and
skills.
salsa, so
Yeah.
there you go. So we're going to let this reduce for a little bit.
So easy.
Yeah, so we're going
And
to let
as you
this...
can tell, that's right up my alley. Easy's
well,
up my alley.
lives are busy.
Yeah.
And we don't always have time to make things from scratch. This allows you to get dinner on the table quickly for your family,
Yeah.
and then, you can have a little bit of time for yourself in the evening.
Well, and the nice thing is, I don't know about you, I'm New Mexican, and you have a lot of friends that move away. Mm-hmm. And they watch the show online or whatever, and they start thinking, man, I miss my New Mexico food.
And they start calling you to send some to them?
Yes. Hey, at Christmas, can you please send me X, Y, and Z?
Right.
But they can go to your website.
Absolutely, CervantesSalsa.com. We have all our products. We also have some gift concepts. We have packages where they can get 4 jars, 8 jars, 12 jars. We have some smaller little sampler jars. So it's really a nice place to get that traditional New Mexico flavor for family and friends who live out of town.
Send them the gift basket, right?
There you go.
Okay, you told me how to do this before we started, and
Yeah.
you looked really confident that I could do it.
Oh,
I appreciate that.
I am.
I like that
assured.
about you. You let me help.
So this, as you can see, it's thickened up a bit, right?
Yeah.
Now you can let it reduce even further. If you let it reduce even further, the meat really absorbs the flavor of that salsa.
Okay.
But for now, I think we're good. Turn this guy off. And then, of course, these are soft tacos. We're using flour tortillas today.
Okay.
we can use
You could use corn, right?
Yeah, for sure. It depends on your own taste.
My mother-in-law is gluten intolerant, so she makes hers with
Oh, does she?
corn. Yep.
Oh, wow. Okay. There you go.
Okay.
You want a little bit more?
Sure, why not?
Why not? Okay. Now you want to garnish with a little bit of
You said
your cheese first,
right?
Right.
Because it melts. Mm-hmm. On there, nice. This is a really generous plate. Healthy, but lots of healthy food, you know. And I notice I keep putting more cheese on.
Yeah, you're going healthy. Now,
All
did
right.
you want a little bit more salsa on that?
You
Well,
know
of course.
it. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll put a little bit more salsa on there for you. Just so that you can have that really rich. You know, one thing about our, you want to do with our salsas too that really brings out the full flavor of the ingredients, put it in your refrigerator for about 30-40 minutes before you serve it up.
Yeah.
You know, just put it in the fridge and then you serve it nice and chilled, and it really pulls out the full flavor of the tomatoes, the jalapenos, the 2 varieties of onions, and the tiny bit of cilantro.
That's
that
a
we
good
use.
idea. Oh, use a tiny bit of cilantro.
Very little.
Yep. It's subtle. It's really subtle.
Well, and cilantro is a type of ingredient that if you use too much, it can be overpowering.
All right, here
Well,
we go.
there you go.
Wow. Fresh, flavorful.
It's the other white meat.
Yeah, but cooking it in the meat,
Right.
and then adding the salsa on top gives it such beautiful flavor.
Now, that's not to say that you can't use a Cervantes salsa with ground beef, with chicken. This is just one example of how the Cervantes salsa can work nicely with pork.
I love having you on the show.
Thank you.
Guilt-free yumminess. Oh, you'll come back, I hope.
I will.
All right, thanks for coming.
Thank you for
so
having
good.
me.
Gotta try this one. Ariane, thank you so much for coming on the show and giving me delicious and healthy treats today. That was really great food.
You're so welcome, Ginger. And you know what? I have an invitation for you,
Okay.
as well as our viewers, to come to Cervantes Restaurant. And if you can't come to Cervantes Restaurant, make great food with Cervantes food products.
Yep, you can buy these in major grocery stores, right?
Major grocery stores, natural food stores, and Costco.
Yep, and if you want to try the recipes from today's show, just go to southwesthotchefs.com. And please join us again next week for another delicious episode of Southwest Hot Chefs and Restaurants. Ariane, thank you so much for coming on the show and for giving me delicious and healthy food.
Well, thank you for having me. And if you can't make it to look at, sorry.
Oh, take your time. Wait till you see how many tags I get. Ariane, I want to say thank you so much to you for giving me
It's tired.
the words, yeah, somewhere. Excellent. Well, sorry. Today, my co-host Richard Holcomb is going to visit with Roberta and Iris. I'm your host, Ginger T. Rex. First today,
Southwest Hot Chefs and Restaurants is brought to you in part by Heritage.